I go by the name Homenya MFR.
And I am Kumaevanu Jasmine.
I'm Justice Eka Wilson Walanyo.
And I am Rodalyn Sewadi Kabonsu. Together, we represent Kpando Senior High School in the 2024 National Cyber Security Contest organized by Cyber Ghana. Before our presentation, we have a short demonstration on the topic. Sit back and enjoy it.
Ghana cry. After BVDs are getting missing, then it is some party winning again.
Hey, MFR.
Eva, it's been a while.
Yes, so my sister.
So where have you been?
Oh, I've been around though.
You haven't heard what's going on?
What's going on? Just tell me why.
When I get over there, they have rigged the election, so that Ilamte party has won.
Ebani saying.
But you this morning, Ghana, how come you've not heard what is going on?
My sister, due to the doom so I didn't get energy to charge my phone and get updated.
Then you have really missed a lot of because
you.
This football club has won.
I would have been in the dark.
Let's go, let me show you more.
Okay.
Abatoni Yenwiemo, Nemo, Isi Nanya Nejumani. That is why, as per Sex Cyber, we have been tasked to develop threat scenarios that could affect the EC's IT system and also give recommendations. We also to discuss security measures that must be put in place before, during, and then after the 2024 general election. Moving to our threat scenarios, we have on the day of election, polling stations as well as collation centers may experience a nationwide blackout, popularly known to Ghanaians as doomsday. As a result, there will be difficulty in communicating and coordinating with polling stations as well as other EC officials. And if this power outage prolongs, then machines supporting biometric verification and transmission of results will also be affected. Hence, confidentiality and availability of system is also affected. So as a measure, we suggest that the EC should implement alert and monitoring mechanism. The EC should also set up backup power supplies at each collation center. For our next threat, you have an external hacker launching a ransomware attack through a malicious link. And then when an EC official clicks on this link, will lead to taking over sensitive voter system. As a result, confidentiality and integrity of vote cast has been affected. So as a measure, we recommend that the EC implements regular backups and then disaster recovery plan to ensure availability of the system. The EC should also implement backup of critical data stored in the voter system. Another possible threat is an EC employee collecting money or bribe from a political party or candidate, and in this case, manipulates the number of vote count to favor that political party or candidate. Hence, confidentiality and integrity of data over here has been affected. So we recommend that the EC should encrypt all voters' information so that members outside security operation room cannot access this information. And also there should be real-time alert and monitoring mechanisms in place to detect any sort of unauthorized access. Another possible threat on the day of election is a malicious EC employee tampering with the biometric verification device. And in this case, all voters' information that has been affected will not be able to be verified. Hence, will lead to overvoting. That is, anybody at all could be allowed to vote. As a result, availability has been affected. So we recommend that the EC implement strict access control so that nobody can access vital data in the voter system. There should also be regular maintenance and testing of voter system. So for our final threat, you have an EC employee gaining unlawful access to the EC system and then manipulating the number of vote count to favor a political party or candidate. Hence, confidentiality of vote cast is affected here. So as a measure, the EC should implement multi-factor authentication as well as encrypted mechanisms.
Here are some of the cyber security measures EC ought to put in place before, during, and after elections. For before elections, EC must 1. Get redundant sites. An external hacker can launch a cyber attack to discontinue the election operation. Because of this, EC must get redundant sites which are at least 200 miles away from the original collation center. What if a disaster affects the whole country? Yes, a disaster recovery plan could be set in a cloud, which could even be managed by cloud vendors abroad. And EC will get access to copies of the election data and have access to it at any time. 2. Disaster recovery plans. EC, on the day of election, the devices that they will use could not be functioning properly or correctly, and this will cause delay and impatience among voters. Because of this, EC must develop disaster recovery plans that would be effective at that very moment to display and detect procedures that could be used to respond to such security incidents. 3. Management of vulnerabilities in EC system. EC must simulate real-world attack to identify vulnerabilities or weakness in its system and mitigate or remediate those plans before the elections. 4. Prevent vandalism or tampering. EC must physically secure their devices, such as the tabulation machines, servers, and others, because on the day of election, someone might hire a group of people to come and cause threats, such as stealing of ballot boxes, destruction of the devices, and others. Finally, the implementation of monitoring tools. As said earlier on in the threat scenario that an EC employee can tamper with the number of vote counts, EC must implement monitoring tools to track the activities of the systems, and also this will help EC to improve the sight of potential security incidents.
Moving on, we have security measures during election. Since malicious activities are likely to happen on the day of election, the EC should establish 1. Security operation centers. The EC should establish ultra modern security operation centers that can detect malicious activities on the IT system. 2. There should be monitoring. The EC should use these ultra modern security operation centers for monitoring by first implementing ultra modern monitoring tools like IDS, intrusion detection system, and activating its response plan to be able to identify all incidents during the election. Finally, redundancy. On the day of election, as stated earlier for before election, there should be redundant sites about 200 miles away from the main collation center. In this case, if there is an error at the main collation center, then the redundant site can be used as a backup.
For after election, we have 1. Post-election reviews. It is very obvious that people may tamper with the EC databases and network. So for that reason, EC should carry out a post-election review so that they can be able to identify malicious activities that took place during the election, like any form of tampering or unauthorized access. With the last one, there should be post-election review report. It's very obvious that the community or the public will be interested to know what went on with the EC database or their network. So for that matter, EC should carry out a post-election review report and share it with the public. This will help to promote complete, trustworthy, and also record of the voters' interaction, aiding in post-election investigation and problem analysis.
Election-related violences are likely to occur at every phase of the election cycle. These phases include before, during, and after election. As stated in our threat scenarios and problem statements before, during, and after election, according to the 2020 Ghana Electoral Security Report, it has been stated that 250 cases of security incidents occurred, such as theft, vandalism, unauthorized people accessing the polling station, bribe, overvoting. If the EC is able to take our recommendation and security measures in place, Ghana will experience a free and fair 2024 election. Thank you.